Hello, everybody, and welcome on into Prop Culture Player Props in the NFL for Week 17. I hope you all have had a Merry Christmas. And shoot, I forgot my hat, Derek. I was going to wear, I had my Santa hat all ready to go, and I completely forgot about it, and I am unsure where it is right now. So, hey, wardrobe budget didn't come clear, but we are here with some fantastic picks. Derek, I hope you've had a very Merry Christmas, and we're going to have another very Merry weekend here on the horizon.
Yeah, it was not a good Christmas for betting, but it was a good Christmas overall, and we got lots of games this weekend to make up for it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly. Rough start for us, but doesn't mean that we can't finish strong and get right back on the wagon here. It was another decent week last week as well. We had a whole bunch on the slate last week, but we ended up doing pretty well overall on the board last week, right?
Yep. Last week was a profitable week. Show picks looks like they broke even basically. But it was a good week overall if you use the bet, the blitz as a whole.
Indeed. Yeah, I definitely had a good week with it. So I was not upset, and hey, now it's time for us to start making some of that Christmas money back for everybody. We got the usual suspects in the chat here. Not quite not quite the full house today. I mean, we got a lot of people on the a lot of people are still shaking off that holiday rust here, but I see Reed Phillips here, Brooke KGB's here, Russian 05 is here, Curtis Victor saying, "Oh man, college football yesterday, that was rough." It's tough betting college ball, but fortunately we are here with some NFL picks for you all. Left foot, I see, and there we go. Now everyone's starting to show up here. It's great to see everybody. All right, Derek, we have a whole bunch to talk about today. Let's get to it. Let's start off with our first play. We're going to be going to Michael Wilson, the man, the myth, the Megatron legend at this point, but we're looking at him under his receptions total today.
Yes, so we're looking at Michael Wilson under there's 4.5s and there's this random 5.5, but it's super juiced. I'd much rather just have one of these 4.5. So our best line is going to be like 4.5. Wow, man, it's been moving. Hold on, is this right? What am I looking at here? Sorry, folks.
It's okay. Alex says he's had trouble finding this play, so it looks like there might be some stuff. We might already be moving it because Dutbet says ETR already moved Wilson receptions a ton, so they must have released that this morning.
That would do it. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm like, these are not the numbers I was looking at even a half hour ago. Yeah, let's just pull this one then, I guess, especially if it's already been moved.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we got we got beat to the punch there by ETR on this one, but we got plenty more to get to here. There's some minus 145s lying around at Hard Rock, but that's not don't bother. We missed it on this one, but hey, we're gonna go right back. Our next one up, Dawson Knox and the Buffalo Bills here, and we're gonna be sticking with that reception marker. We got a whole bunch of reception props to get to today. Very excited. We got a ladder play in there for y'all as well. But where are we going with Dawson Knox in particular here, Derek?
Yep, we're looking at Dawson Knox under 1.5 receptions at plus 140 is going to be our best line, it looks like. Dawson Knox has been getting targeted a decent amount of late, but with Dalton Kincaid back, like his route share has gone back to what it was prior to that. It's not like he's out there any extra. They're running extra 2 tight end sets or anything like that. It's just he's gotten some extra targets for whatever reason. Last week I bet his under and it worked. The Blitz likes the under again this week, so I'm going to go back to it. This game projects as the slowest pace game, or no, I think second slowest pace game of the week. So overall play volume should be down. And yeah, so under on Knox here.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go the exact same way with you. Between, like you said, we're going to have lower play volume. He's not getting the work because Kincaid's back. And this really does feel like one of those games where both of these teams are going to be running the football a whole lot. I'm not quite sure what the weather situation is in Buffalo right now, but I can't imagine that's going to be fun for the passing games.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be some weather going on here as well. So potential rain, maybe a little bit of wind. So yeah, not a great setup for offense.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about another guy here in the receptions market, one of our favorites. It's not Samaje Perine, and it's not Geno Smith, we've got Chuba Hubbard, the prince that was promised.
Yeah, unfortunately, the days of Chuba Hubbard rushing attempt overs are over, but we can look at his under receptions here, under 1.5 plus 140. The usage in the pass game has kind of been bouncing around from week to week between Dowdle and Hubbard, like who's getting the targets, who's getting the routes. But last week, Chuba was only out there for a route on 27% of the dropbacks, which on the season he's been almost double that. So this is definitely, I think, a good line here if we can get it at any sort of plus money. You can see the blitz is projecting 1.74, so like a little above the line. So probably like a 45% winner if I were to just kind of eyeball it and guess. But 45% at plus 140 or plus 130 or wherever you're going to get it is going to be certainly fine.
How quickly things change in this league, my friend. Oh, it was just yesterday we were waxing poetic about the Chuba Hubbard experience and how much money we were making on his overs. And here we are now, sadly on the other side, but still making money on it. Now, how about this one? You're going to have to sweat this one out. Trey McBride receptions. Woo-wee, this number is sky high, but the problem is Jacoby Brissett throws the football about 200 times a game.
Yeah, this is a scary one. I really didn't want to, and it's just kept moving in this direction. And so it's kind of reached a point where I'm like, all right, I'll take the under here. I think they're just offering us too much value on it. So under 7.5, minus 106 at DraftKings is our best line. You can see the blitz is projecting under 6.5. So we're getting a pretty big gap here. The blitz loves Trey McBride. It has liked him all year. If you play DFS, you've played him almost every single week. If you have a season-long team, like you drafted him on your team because the blitz thought he should have been a first rounder. But we're at the point where I think the volume that we've seen with Brissett is inflated relative to what we should expect. We're facing a Cincinnati team that plays at a slow pace. We're on the road, outdoors. Chance of rain in this game as well. So a lot of stuff just kind of, plus Marvin Harrison Jr. is presumably back again. So yeah, it's a scary one, but it's a big number, and McBride could still have a great game and go under this. Yeah.
And I mean, it is tough with the fact that the Cardinals are running the air raid offense at this point, but 7.5 receptions is just such a monumental number any way you slice it. And I know that we're low overall on the Cardinals this week, as we also have Michael Wilson under, but we were going to have Michael Wilson under, but you also do have MHJ back. There's more mouths to feed. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a very, 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 very sweaty one, I'm sure, for us, but we will have a good time anyway. All right, next up, we have a nice ladder play to get to here. While we're doing that, Budzinski asks, what is ETR? ETR is another projection service that puts out plays and stuff like that. But they also, just like you see here on the Blitz, when we talk about a play and then immediately you see the board lighting up and the market moving, same exact kind of deal with that. Now,
the Michael Wilson one, just so people know, we had it at plus 115.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at the board when the show started, it was like minus 160s and minus 170s. Like it was just way different than we expected. So I am out at that point on Michael Wilson.
Mm-hmm. But how about Michael Mayer? Let's talk about him, because no Brock Bowers this week, and the Raiders are going to probably have to throw the football.
Yes, I am definitely in on Mayer this week. No Brock Bowers, like you said, kind of a surprise add to the injured reserve list this week. And if you look at the two games earlier in the year that Mayer played that Bauer did not, his usage was just sky high. He ran a route on close to 90% of the dropbacks. He had a target on more than 20% target share rather. And he's good. Like, he comes with pedigree. He was a early second round pick just a couple of years ago. They've talked about how much they like him earlier in the year. Pete Carroll said that he's a top, he's a number one tight end in the league, basically. They're like, we have two number one tight ends. We have Bowers and we have Mayer. So he's good. Now the opportunity is there. You can see the blitz is projecting over 5 here for him. So not only is this 3.5 number going to be good, but we're going to ladder this up. We're going to take the 4.5, which the best I could find was plus 235 at Bet365. Let me know what you guys are able to find. And then we're going to throw a half unit on the over 5.5 as well. Plus 525 at Bet365 was the best I was able to find, but available pretty much everywhere in the alt markets. So let me know what numbers you guys are seeing. I mean, we're definitely underdogs to hit the 5.5, but if we're getting anything close to plus 500 on it, it is a very plus EV play.
Yeah, that is that is absurdly good right there. And hey, hopefully we'll be on the Michael Meyer train all day. It's not like there's that many people to throw to on the Raiders offense, and Gino's got to throw somewhere other than the other team, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I'm pretty sure even last time he had like a 21% target share when Bowers was out. I think that was still when Jacoby Myers was on the team and he's gone now. Like, it's just, there really is no one to throw to. And I think Mayer is going to be, I'm hoping, pretty heavily targeted here. Yeah.
Well, we will have to see, but I like it. All right. Rabbi and Lou wants to know real quick, knocks us down to 116. Are you starting to get out at that point on him? I'd say that we're we liked it at plus 140. I'd say that we're probably losing value there.
Plus one. Yeah. So it looks like here, if you look, plus 115s are like 3-star plays. So that's like right on the border. I think it's playable. I don't love it at that number, but I'd say it's still playable there.
Okay. All right. We have moved on. Let's mosey out of our receptions markets here and let's move on to our other favorite market. We got a couple carries plays to get to. Where are we going with Woody Marks' carries in this one? Oh, man, the Texans running back usage is the most annoying thing.
It really is. So Woody Marks was injured, didn't play last week, is off the injury report now. So the lines look pretty high. They're kind of assuming, it looks like, that Marks is going to be healthy, that he's going to be the lead back here. I'm not convinced that's going to be the case. So we're looking at under 13.5 plus 112 here. If you have an exchange at ProfitX, but any of the other numbers here are going to be fine to take. There was a quote in the Coach Speak Index Discord earlier this week that really had me like kind of raising my eyebrows a little bit about like, okay, what is the workload distribution going to look like here? Trying to find, where was it? Basically, when he was talking, he said, it was offensive coordinator Nick Caley. I have confidence in Jawar Jordan, Woody Marks, and Nick Chubb. Jawar's been consistent. Woody does a great job too, and then Nick is steady. I have a lot of confidence in these guys. So like, we're gonna see all three of them, and I think there's a chance that Jordan eats enough into Woody Marks' stuff that he doesn't get to this number. That's kind of my hope here and my read on the situation. I could be wrong, but that's my takeaway from kind of the quotes that I've been reading coming out of Houston this week.
We will have to see, but I am inclined to agree with you. I don't think he got to this carries number last week. I think I had him there, but I had him and I had Jaylen Warren. That was a bad beat on the Jaylen Warren one. He got hurt. But anyway, the other running back that we need to talk about here is none other than Bijan Robinson. And, this is another good prop because it is Falcons versus Rams on Monday night. I have a feeling that they're going to have to pass the ball an awful lot.
Yeah, it is Bijan under 17.5 carries, minus 110. It is a scary one because it's Bijan, but we know that they don't give Bijan a monster workload on the ground because they work in Tyler Algier, because they have, Drake London's getting healthy now. This should be a back and forth kind of game. Like, it shouldn't be a game where they're leading and they have a chance to lean on the run a whole lot. So we see a lot of times the numbers on star players can get inflated. The blitz is only projecting less than 5.5 or 15.5 here. So we're looking at a good play, even if it's, a scary one and one that you're definitely going to have to sweat out.
Yeah, it's certainly, anytime you're betting unders on these superstars, you have to sweat it out. But like you said, they also do a lot of working Bijan in the passing game, and they, for some reason, don't like using him as their red zone running back. So it does make sense. We get those weird Algier spells, and 17.5 carries is a big mark in a game where A, you're splitting time, and B, you're probably going to be passing because the Rams most likely are going to be in front in this game.
Yeah, you would think.
And Alex wants to know, what price do you like that 17.5 up to?
The Bijan one.
Yeah.
You can take, I mean, we're looking at 15.5 as the projection. So you can take it pretty much wherever you want. And I think you're getting value on it. I can tell you what the theoretical break even is, but it's going to be something just like really stupid.
Yeah, when we're projecting 2 full carries under, that's how you know it's going to be something crazy.
Theoretical break even's minus 201.
So there you go. Good to minus 200.
Yeah. And if it drops to 16.5, the theoretical break even on that is minus 151. So like you have plenty of wiggle room on this.
All right. Speaking of and Russian says, do you like 16.5 at plus money instead? I mean, I assume I would go 17.5, but 16.5 plus money is going to be good.
Yeah, definitely going to be good there.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we're going back to him. Samaje Perine once again. I think we cashed on this last week, right?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samaje Perine under rushing yards. We are looking at what was our best line on this? Oh, I have it going the wrong way. That's why. Okay. Under 38.5 minus 110 at MGM looks like our best line, but you can see it's a 5-star play, even down to some of these 35.5s. It's just too high of a number for him. Like they do work him in on the ground. Like it's not like this is just Chase Brown's backfield. They like Perine. They talk about how he's a tough runner. He'll get like a third of the carries, but it's not like he's getting like a huge amount. 38.5 is just a high number for him. We said it last week. It was too high. We bet it. It won. The same thing is popping up this week. We're just going to run it back.
Yeah. And hey, if it works, it works. I mean, our free play used to be Perine receiving overs, and now it's just rushing unders because, like you said, they're not using him. Also, Chase Brown has been doing a lot better since Joe Burrow got back in the lineup.
Yeah, Chase Brown's been crushing. So, if they have a reason to reduce Perine's role a little bit, like they certainly have that reason.
Yeah. All right. Next up here, we're going back to Emmanuel Wilson once again, and we're doing the same thing we always do, looking at his unders here.
Another one of our favorites here, Emmanuel Wilson. We got under 32.5 minus 109 at DraftKings as our best number, but even these 30.5s, the 29.5, they're all looking good. Really what it comes down to is just when Josh Jacobs is healthy, we tend to not see a lot of Emmanuel Wilson on the ground. Josh Jacobs seems pretty healthy now, not on the injury report. Probably going to see Wilson used a little bit more sparingly. There's also the chance that Jordan Love doesn't play, and we see some design runs in there for Malik Willis if he's the quarterback, which could take a little bit away from the running backs. So it's and they're facing a good team in Baltimore, obviously without Lamar Jackson, but might not be the kind of game where we're seeing like blowout type thing and Wilson getting used in that regard. So I think the chances of that are fairly low. So I like this one.
Yeah. I mean, again, it, like you said, the nail on the head here is they don't use him when Josh Jacobs is healthy. They spell him for a couple carries a game, but there's a reason we've been making money on this prop all year long.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Next up here, we move out of our rushing markets and we head into completions, and we are going to the man himself, the CTE demon, Jackson Dart. And going to be a little risky here, Derek. We're looking at his over completions. Are you does the blitz account for the time he's going to spend in the blue medical tent?
It does not. If he's spending time in the medical tent, then we're in trouble. But I think we're getting enough of a value here anyway to make it worthwhile. So I think the 17.5, even though there's 16.5s on the board, I think the 17.5 at even money is the best line on the board. The blitz is projecting over 20 here for him. Last week, they just didn't let him throw at all, which is scary because obviously this wouldn't work if they go with the same game plan. But I'm guessing that was just kind of game specific. They're going into a much better matchup here. They're going into a dome in Las Vegas, which tends to promote passing and passing efficiency, facing a super zone heavy team, super zone heavy defense in the Raiders, which tends to give up a lot of completions. This one looks good to me. So I'm willing to bet that last week was just kind of a one game plan fluke type of thing.
Derek, I'll tell you one thing. this game needs to be flexed into prime time. This is the game of the season here we're talking about. It should be on Sunday Night Football. This is the tank bowl of all tank bowls, the battle for the number one pick. We are going to see some atrocious football in this game.
It really is, but it's going to be fun football, I think. Fun, atrocious football.
Exactly. It's teams that are out of it, and so they're like, oh, you know what? Now we'll throw out the fun trick plays and all the stuff we should have been using earlier this season. As Nick Porto chimes in and says, how much does the blitz factor in some teams wanting to be in Cancun this week? I'm sure it's going to be a very big deal, but hey, we've got to see who's going to be the number one pick here. All right. Next up, we're going to a game that matters for some. Monday Night Football, Rams versus the Falcons. Once again, we've already talked about it with that Bijan under. Now we're going and playing a different angle here with the Matt Stafford over.
Yeah, this one, I don't know if this one was given out maybe by someone else too earlier in the day, but it's moved quite a bit. I think this 21.5 at Bet Rivers is the last one hanging here. That would certainly be our best line if you can get that or the Profit X number that's right there. Everyone else is up to 22.5 now, which is still fine because the blitz is projecting 25. So if the best you have is 22.5 minus 110 or minus 120, like you're still getting really good value on this. It's going to be a back and forth game. It's indoors. The Rams obviously have a really good offense. Stafford throws the ball, especially with Devontae Adams probably out again. Not that that's necessarily a good thing, but it does mean that the targets are going to consolidate closer to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be throwing a lot to the tight ends. He's going to be throwing a lot to the running backs and Puka Nacua. And that's like where the ball's going to go. So yeah, this one looks good to me.
Yeah, going to be a fun one. I'm always down to bet on Matthew Stafford to do things. He's a guy that often does those things. Now, let's talk about Shadur Sanders. We've got one interception prop for you, and this is it. That's right. No Geno Smith props today, people. No Geno Smith, although I'm sure someone's going to ask about him, but none on the official show plays. But oh boy, we're betting on Shadur to not be ass.
Yeah, plus 155 is just a big number to be laying for him. So I'll take it. I'll hope that, Sanders is just regular, unimpressive. And yeah, that's where we're at on this. It's just one of those math plays. So
yep.
Under half an interception at plus 155, I'm going to take.
The INT people in the chat definitely know how these work. We're flipping a coin and we're flipping it as many times as we can because we think we've got a better price on it than it should be. And at the end of the season, we're hopefully coming out ahead on these. It's a math play, like you said. Just like these next two, we're taking some shots here because we've got some touchdown bets. And oh boy, Corey Kiner, first up. Is he a Ram?
He is an Arizona, I almost said Diamondback, Arizona Cardinal. He is the third running back for the Cardinals. Has only started getting usage recently since Bam Knight went down. But he's gotten a decent amount of usage, especially in the red zone. Like last week, I think he had 3 red zone carry. Last week he had all the red zone carries. I don't know how many that was. I think just 1 or 2. But over the last couple of weeks, he's like out red zone carried Michael Carter like 3-1. He's been used a little bit in the red zone. We're getting a big number on it, plus 1,100 at FanDuel. So we'll take a shot on it here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting that kind of work in the red zone, that's kind of what we're looking for on some of these outskirts touchdown scorer guys. Like kind of the same thing with Sean Tucker. He gets those carries down near the goal line. And yes, we worked in the Sean Tucker mention today. But that's what you really want with some of these guys. Just like the next one up on our list, Jalen Wright, who does the same exact thing for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, he can be frustrating as a Devon Achane fantasy owner because they will use him near the goal line and they are not afraid to vulture touchdowns with Jalen Wright. So if you can get anywhere near this plus 900 at MGM or the 850 at FanDuel, you are getting good value here, I think, on Wright.
RIP my fantasy teams this year. We bowed out in the semis last week. So
did you? My one team in the semis last week, I crushed. I had Puka Nacua. I had Kenneth Gainwell. I had like my team was great. I would have beaten literally anybody else in the entire league except for the person that I faced who somehow managed to beat me. And it was the most frustrating thing in the world.
That's the way it goes. That's the way fantasy football goes. It's always like that. And then, of course, you get eliminated in the semis because you have a bad game. And then you see in the final, your team, everybody goes off and racks up all the points.
I'm waiting for that this week because I know what's going to happen.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it as far as our picks for the show here. So we're going to go over our recap, as you all know and love. I'm going to recap everything out. And while I am doing that, Russian 05, congrats on 2 finals for you here. Good luck. Hope you're using the Blitz and EV Analytics to help you make your lineup decisions here. But in the meantime, throw your questions in the chat. Let us know who you want to talk about. Which players do you have your eye on this week? We will be here answering all of your questions, and I'm going to give you the time to get them in while we go over the recap here, because we're starting off that Michael Wilson number. We are scratching. Once again, I make these graphics right before the show. Once we're on the show, can't update them because I'm busy, doing the show. All right, Dawson Knox is going to be our first actual play here, under 1.5 receptions at plus 140. Chuba Hubbard, next up, under 1.5 receptions, also at plus 140 at MGM. Trey McBride, under 7.5 receptions, minus 106 at Profit X. Bet365 has our ladder play on Michael Mayer. We're ladder in the 3.5, 4.5, and 5.5 receptions markets there. Next up, we've got Woody Marks under 13.5 carries at plus 112 over on Profit X. Before we go to Bijan Robinson, under 17.5 carries, minus 110 at MGM. Samaje Perine, under 37.5 rushing yards, minus 111 at Bet365. Emmanuel Wilson, under 32.5 rushing yards, minus 109 at DraftKings. Jackson Dart, over 17.5 completions, even money at Hard Rock. Matthew Stafford, over 21.5 completions, minus 120 at the Rivers. Bet, not Phillip. Shadur Sanders, under half an interception, plus 160 odds at 365 and MGM there. Corey Kiner, over half a touchdown, 10-1 odds at FanDuel and Hard Rock right now. And last but not least, Jalen Wright, over half a touchdown, 9-1, the best odds there at the Lion of MGM. Woo-wee! Whole lot of plays on the slate for us here today, Derek.
Yeah, we got a lot of plays. Feeling pretty good about these ones, so hopefully we have a big week.
Indeed, we would love to. All right, now it's time for your questions. And of course, the first one up, Old Man Rivers himself. Nick Porto says there was some anytime touchdown value at 28-1. And Russian wants to know, have the books adjusted, or are we on more Grandpa Rivers overs?
Yeah, there is some value on the Rivers anytime touchdown because it's like, well, best line's like 33-1 or 30-1. I haven't bet it yet. I don't know if I'm going to. Like, theoretically, it's showing a lot of value. It's projecting him to get there just all based off scrambles, basically. I'm like, the blitz is not giving him any sort of designed QB sneak usage really or anything, because they'll probably just use Tyler Warren as like a tush push kind of thing if they get in that situation, or Jonathan Taylor. But the blitz is seeing value on it. So it's like, do I really think Rivers has a chance to scramble in a touchdown? Not really, but we're getting 33-1. So maybe if you want to take it, the odds of it hitting are very low, but you're getting really good odds for it. So let's take a look at his completions, because the blitz has been all over this the last couple of weeks. Why am I not getting just Rivers? His first name.
And it's also like, it would be a great sight watching a 44-year-old man scramble for a touchdown in 2025.
Oh my God, it would be so great. Books have adjusted. We were getting 16.5s the first couple games, and they're up to 21.5 now. Books have realized they were setting Rivers way too low. If you used the blitz on Monday night for that game, you destroyed, because all of the overs that it liked crushed, especially if you did any ladders. It was a good night.
That was a lot of fun just watching them rack up all those yards. And I was like, hey, old man still got it. Next up here. What was that?
He really does. And it's been so much fun, like just being on his overs and just seeing him crush.
Yep. Next up here, Garrett Price has a fantasy football question for us, and why not? We're talking some fantasy right now.
Sure.
Who do you have projecting out better here, Jalen Hurts or Drake May for the championship?
The Blitz has Drake May projected a little higher.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I have Jalen Hurts at quarterback in one of my leagues. It's been tough this year. You're not getting as many points on the tush push because that offense hasn't been firing as well. I like Drake May here for sure. And what's the motto says? Yeah, that that Alec Pierce ladder was wild.
Alec Pierce's receiving yards line was set at 18.5. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I'll take it. And then laddering it up was smart because, like, I think the Blitz was projecting like 55 yards or something, just like stupid high for him.
Mm-hmm. Brooke KGB says Blitz showing 5 stars on both London receptions and yardage overs. Like one more than the other. Yards seem way under the Blitz projection. I mean, if you're going overs, I'm going to guess that we're going to like yards a little bit more just because of the volatility of it, which is friendlier to overs. But both is good.
Yeah, both are definitely going to be fine this week. My only concern is just that he did look rusty last week. The coaches came out of the game saying like he wasn't himself, didn't get his full complement of snaps. Was close, was up there. But so I'm just wondering if he's back to 100%, this looks great. We don't know for sure that he is. I think I probably would take the yardage, like you said, but either one is going to be fine. They're both projecting well.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree with you there. The yardage, at least you have the better chance of him just breaking one, which would give you a very nice, easy cash. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have money on both of them in this one. And then what's the motto saying? Pierce is such a long ball guy too. I guess books thought that Phil couldn't get it there. And we did talk about Pierce on the show last week.
We did. That's right. Because we had a question on him, but he wasn't open at a lot of books yet. So we didn't call him an official play. But once more books opened him, I threw him out elsewhere. And it was, it was a great play.
And Rabbi and Lou saying like Bo Nix's rushing yards, it was set crazy low. Yeah, Bo Nix definitely blew through that last night. Here we go. What's the motto says? Do you like anything on Algier if you're on under on Bijan? Let's take a look at Tyler Algier markets.
We can take a look. I haven't seen any yet. See yards, carries. Is there anything open on Algier? Oh, there are. Rushing yards is open on him, and I guess a couple books have carries. Not a whole lot of value showing up. It's actually undervalued, so it's more. I think then it seems like the Blitz is maybe expecting more of a passing boost for the team here, more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we can also see that in the fact that we like some Drake London overs as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Russian 05 wants to know, what about Darren Waller over in yards this week?
Let's take a look.
And while we're looking that up, Tate says, do you have any best ball sweats going on?
That's one format I still have not started playing yet. I don't have any best ball teams. I never had any best ball teams this year, so I have no sweats going for them. It seems fun. I know a lot of people are really into them, so maybe next year I'll start dipping my toes in.
Yeah, I might check it out. But it's just something that I haven't really played either.
Waller, depending on what line you're getting, it looks like has some value here. Nothing crazy, but definitely some value.
Yeah, not bad. Playable at 365.
Playable if you can get it there.
Curtis Victor says, how about CMC over 66.5 rushing yards here? My God, is there a harder working man in the world than Christian McCaffrey? It's like him and Marco Rubio.
All right. No, the Blitz is actually liking some. Wait, hold on. What did he say? 66.5? Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Lines are all over the place. 66.5 up to 74.5.
Jeez.
If you can get the 74.5, it looks like there's actually some undervalue. Otherwise, I think I'd just stay away from this one.
Yeah. McCaffrey is one of those guys. It's always tough to bet his unders, but this is one of those spots where you might have to worry about that over as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'll vamp for a little while here while we get through, and looks like we've gotten through everybody's questions so far. But if anyone has any more, speak now or forever hold your peace. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for being with us as always. We really do appreciate it. It has been a great holiday week. I hope you have had the same. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend here, filled with a bunch of bets that cash and some great times. It's the best time of the year right now, and we are going to have a good finish to the season. We've got one more week before the playoffs. We will be back here, same time, same place as always next week, as you know, and we've got a couple more questions coming in. As John Kiss has no questions, just wanted to say thanks for all you guys do. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all being here. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Help us grow the show. And in the meantime, we will talk about Mets' question of a Hurts passing attempts over. And then we will head over to Curtis's question about Rome Odunze here before we get out.
Yeah, so Hurts, the passing attempt over looks pretty good.
Yeah.
You can see the blitz is projecting like three or so over the number. You can get it at even money. It's going to be game script wise, probably a closer game than they've played, than they are usually used to playing. Maybe even trailing against Buffalo, definitely going to be a closer game where they're going to have to throw the ball. So yeah, I can see this one.
Yep. Rabbi and Lou wants to know real quick, how high would you play Rivers passing yards?
We looked at the completions before. Let's take a look at the yards, but it had appeared that the books were kind of, the yards are still looking kind of low. Yeah, you can think about taking the yards on Rivers, I guess, then.
Mm-hmm. And Curtis Victor wants to know anything on Rome Odunze receptions and receiving yards here.
He was ruled out, wasn't he? I don't think there's any markets for him available. I think he's out this week.
That would be a big problem then. All right. I would not recommend Rome Odunze overs this week. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here on the show today. It has been a pleasure. We will see you all back here, same time, same place next week for one more regular season round. And then, of course, we will be back for the playoffs. In the meantime, it's been a fun season. I can't believe next week's the last week. That's wild.
Went fast.
Yeah, it really did. But it has been awesome being here with you. It has been awesome being here with all of you in the chat. I've loved seeing all the familiar faces from years past that have joined us over here. And I absolutely love all of the new guys that have come in, everyone that has joined us here. We appreciate and are thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend here. And of course, let's cash some tickets. We'll see you next week, everybody.